Welcome to the All Things Nintendo podcast. I'm Brian Shea, and this is a weekly podcast to discuss all the biggest news and games from the world of Nintendo. We are recording this a little bit earlier than usual, so if any additional news hits this week, I will circle back in a future episode. However, we did get a Pokémon Presents this week, so we will be recapping that, plus talking about the state of the Pokémon franchise. Joining me this episode is longtime friend of the show. It's Benny Bellatro himself, Ben Richlin. Ben, how's it going?
It's going. Ready to catch them all, or however many they throw at us this time.
Yeah, they did not throw very much at us, but we will we'll be recapping all of it. But first of all, we talked about this when I introed you.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in previous episodes. You did finally cave and buy Bellatro, right?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot like this. No.
I thought you did. I thought you told me you bought it.
I think you know what? I might have bought. I did buy it. You're right. It's that I haven't played it.
What'd you buy it on? Was it Switch? Did you get the iOS
I bought
version?
it on Switch. I bought it on Switch, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've always said it's like a travel hack. Like, you know, like if you have a long flight, which I do, which is the next thing we're going to be talking about here, play some Bellatro, play some Vampire Survivors. You'll watch the hours melt away.
You know, so next week I'm going to Disney World at the end of July. A very interesting decision made by my family. But, you know, they want Uncle Benny to be there. So I will be going there. So I'll play on the plane.
You absolutely should.
Yes.
Which is what I'm going to be doing with my my Donkey Kong Bonanza and Breath of the Wild playthroughs that I'm doing right now, because I wanted to bring this programming note up before we started the episode proper here. I will be traveling to Tokyo, Japan next week. So I will be pre-recording next week's episode, and that means, knowing my luck, we'll probably get a Nintendo Direct next week, and then I'll be super late to the party in covering it, and everybody will be like, because like that's how it's always going to play out, right? Like I'm going to be like, it's been slow the past couple of weeks, aside from the launch of Donkey Kong Bonanza and the Pokemon Presents. Like there hasn't been a lot of news outside of those things. So it does feel like we're on Nintendo Direct watch, and there's been rumors that it would be sometime in July. We have one more week in July, so not a lot of if that rumored July date is going to stick, that's really the only option.
So 2 questions. One, do you think that it'll be like a third party focused or first party or indies focused one? And then the second question, probably the most important, is how many things are you bringing me back from Japan?
I'm limiting you to 2 things, as I told you in text.
Yes, you're now putting it on blast.
Yes, because every time I go to Japan, I bring an empty suitcase, because I know I'm going to be bringing back stuff. And I have status with Delta because I travel so much, so I get 2 free checked bags. So that's what I do. I maybe I'll throw up 1 pair of shoes in that, so it has a little bit of weight to it, and then I'll leave enough space in my other suitcase. But yeah, it's going to be speaking of hot climates in the summer, Japan in late July, early August is quite miserable to be outside.
Rough. Yeah,
100% humidity plus high 80s to mid 90s. It's not great. You are sweating before you reach the other side of the street.
Oof.
But hey, I love the city unconditionally, so I'm going back. I'm excited to head out there. I'm going to be checking out that new Sega store. Obviously going to be checking out the Nintendo store, as I always do, and the Pokemon centers, always destinations.
Yeah. So which what do you think that we're going to see from Direct? If we get something,
I think it could be one of those combination directs where it's like we're going to showcase some of the third-party games coming, but we're also going to have some first-party announcements.
Yeah.
Because like we're seeing it where like Nintendo didn't really give a lot of third parties their like the Switch 2 dev kits, it seems. So now it seems like they all have the dev kits and they can start porting their games. So I think we're going to maybe get like a sizzle reel of like what we could see coming from third parties, but then probably start seeing some of Nintendo's like second half of 2025, first half of 2026 start getting built out for the Switch 2. Now that, two of the biggest games of the year are behind us in Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World, I think it would make sense to see like, all right, well, here's like some more information about Metroid Prime, some more information about like the Kirby expansion that's coming for Forgotten Land. And we just got some Pokemon Legends ZA stuff that we're going to get into in this episode. So like we are slowly but surely getting a little bit more about this holiday season. And I think it would stand to reason that Nintendo would want to update us. They typically do it sometime between Summer Game Fest and PAX West. And usually it's both. Usually you get a direct that's kind of like a broad thing right after Summer Game Fest. The timing of that was weird because we got the Switch 2 literally the first day of Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
So I could see why they wouldn't want to overshadow their console launch with the new Nintendo Direct. But then you get into like PAX West, and they usually do like at least a couple times they've done like a big direct that is focused on one of their holiday games. Like 2 years ago was Mario Wonder. They did like I remember watching it from my hotel room at PAX West. They did a Mario Wonder thing, and I'd actually just come from Nintendo's headquarters because I was doing the Mario Wonder cover story at the time.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think that we could see that, or sometimes they've also done for PAX West, they've done the Nindies presentation, which I think is just called Nintendo Indie World now. So
yeah,
maybe we'll see that. Maybe we just won't see anything in July. Who knows?
Do you think Twilight Princess Wind Waker combo? Come on.
Here's the thing. I am tired of speculating about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker coming to Switch.
All right, fair enough.
Because it makes so much sense. It makes too much sense that Nintendo has not done it. Like, I don't know what we're doing, and now Wind Waker's on the GameCube library on Switch 2, but I want the HD version.
Does that kill the likelihood? You don't think it does? Okay.
I think either Bill Trinan or Doug Bowser specifically said that does not kill the possibility of having Wind Waker or Twilight Princess HD brought over, because like, I don't know, we had Mario 3D All-Stars, and on the N64 catalog we have Mario 64.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that we could still get it, but I've given up speculating about Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD. If you had one prediction, say Nintendo said like it leaks or something that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
What would your one big prediction be?
I think that my one big prediction would be that it would be it will be sort of a hodgepodge of not just first-party stuff, but a lot of third-party stuff. In terms of singular one game, it's like my heart is saying Twilight Princess Wind Waker, but my brain is telling me no. I think that there's going to be some sort of 3D Mario announcement, but I don't think it's going to come out in the winter. I don't know. It's so tough. I think that our winter game is going to be Metroid.
It very well could. I mean, they could also look at that and be like, well, we have a new Pokemon game. We have a Metroid.
Yeah.
Like that's a solid year. It's just not like the splash that we got with the Switch 1 where we had a Zelda game, Splatoon. I mean, maybe we get a Splatoon game. Who knows?
Well, they're doing a new Splatoon game, right?
Yeah, they're doing that survival game. Yeah, forgot about that. So yeah, maybe we get more of that.
What's your one big prediction?
I mean, I would like to see a new team getting a crack at a Mario game, like even if it's just like in the style of like Bowser's Fury, where it's kind of like the open world style. I think that would be really cool to see like another team get a crack at that, since the Mario Odyssey team worked on Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah. So I would like to see that, but oh man, like they have so many heavy hitters they could pull from. Like, it's been 5 years since we've gotten an Animal Crossing game. Could they tease that we're getting an Animal Crossing game and like make the entire world lose their minds? Like, I think there might be a little bit more time between New Horizons and the next game, but like it's not out of the realm of possibility. They're like, all right, yeah, we started work on this almost immediately after ending support for New Horizons, which I think was only a year, right?
Yeah. What about Sora's new game?
The Kirby one, Kirby Air Riders.
No, Sakurai's new game. Isn't he working on something new?
Well, he's working on the Kirby Air Riders game.
Yeah, but isn't he working on something like completely new? Didn't I remember that you and I did an episode where he talked about like, oh, I'm working on something completely new.
Yeah, I think it was Kirby Air Riders.
It was Kirby Air. Damn it. Okay. All right.
But well, I mean, maybe there was something else because he was just like, yeah, I'm working on something. That's why he recorded all of his like YouTube videos 2 years in advance.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that you know, that's probably what that is. But who knows? Maybe he has something else in the oven as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I mentioned, we have a Pokemon Presents to talk about. But before we jump into that, just a reminder, you are listening to the All Things Nintendo podcast. This show arrives in your podcast feeds completely free every single Friday. But if you'd like to support me and allow me to keep on making these episodes week after week, you can join the Patreon for as little as $3 a month. That gets you access to the community Discord, which will have priority for the upcoming Q&A episode of the show. There are also $5 and $10 tiers that get you access to early and ad-free episodes, plus shout-outs at the end of every show. Just go to patreon.com and search All Things Nintendo. It would really help the show out if you are able to join up. Otherwise, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is a completely free way to support the show. And if none of that works for you, just tell a friend. Like it's spreading the word of the show. Say, hey, I like this Nintendo focused show. Listen to it every week. Just tell a friend that if they're a Nintendo fan, and you know, that also helps the show. So, Ben, this is also your first time on the show since the Switch 2 launched. How are you liking it?
So when it first came out, it was the same weekend as Pokemon Go Fest, New Jersey. Then I went to Reno and Disneyland, and then just busy with work. Then I was in Pennsylvania. So at a certain point, the most that I had played was a wonderful game called System Transfer. And look, I didn't really like play too much Mario Kart. Now I'm playing DK Bonanza, and it is just such a great game.
Mm-hmm.
It rules. It's so much fun. It's so nice to be playing a game that's just fun and low stakes. You know, it's a good time. So, but it's basically the Switch. Like, it doesn't really feel like anything innovative is there, at least from what I've experienced. Am I going to do the mouse controls? Probably not. I have no intention of doing that. It feels like the most un-Nintendo Nintendo launch of all time.
I mean, if you look at their history, though, they've always kind of done that iterative follow-up to all their successful systems, right? Like they went NES to SNES. That was just like a more powerful, like obviously there was some innovation there. And then N64 to GameCube. And then Wii to Wii U, which, you know, they added the gamepad for that, but it was still like, all right, well, how can we stack gimmicks on top of gimmicks at that point?
Yeah.
Game Boy to Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance, then DS to 3DS. So I think that like this is pretty in line with the way that Nintendo has traditionally done it. Maybe it's more like stringent in its adherence to like the model of the Switch, but you know, the upgrade to being able to display 4K and HDR, the obvious power enhancement that allows a lot of these games to run at 60 frames per second. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we'll talk about Scarlet and Violet later, but playing that at 60 frames per second is fantastic. Same thing for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They didn't need the upgrade as bad as Scarlet and Violet, but like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild look fantastic in 60 frames per second. Mario Odyssey runs great. Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom. I think that's the kind of upgrade that I want in like if I would consider the Switch maybe Nintendo's greatest console or system ever.
I agree. I agree.
So
I
one of those
100%
that
agree.
runs better is kind of exactly what I want. I didn't want them to go back to the drawing board, I wanted them to really perfect that formula.
But it took 7 years for it, and that's a long time. I guess I was expecting something a little bit more during that time, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it's also only been a month and a half, so there's not really a lot for me to do with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's DK Bonanza. I have Mario Kart World. I've played it like 3 or 4 times. I'm not a big Mario Kart person though. So I'm anticipating seeing like what the next big heavy hitter game for this console will be. And I mean, I think that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom was just such a big deal for the Switch. What are they going to do for Zelda that's like a really big deal? That's what I want to see.
We probably have a little ways to wait because, we just got
ways. Yes.
But that segues nicely into the next topic I wanted to talk to you about. I had Logan Plant from IGN and Nintendo Voice Chat on last week, and we chatted a lot about the casting of Zelda and Link in the live-action Legend of Zelda movie. And I wanted to get your take on the actors that they chose for those characters. Have you seen this?
Yes, I know nothing about them. Great. A+. Good.
Yeah, so
do more of that.
For people who miss it, Bo Bragason is Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth is Link. Ben, I asked this to Logan and we got nowhere from either me or him. Who is your pick for Ganondorf?
Jim Carrey. No. Let's who's my pick for Ganondorf? I guess like if we're picking some people that like aren't well known for Link and Zelda, I guess it makes sense to sort of offset that by picking somebody that's a little bit more well known. Who's my pick for Ganondorf? I would probably, man, I don't feel like I have one. I haven't given it a lot of thought. That's hard. Like, the first time that we've actually had Ganondorf actually speak was Tears of the Kingdom, right? There's just so many different like characterizations of Ganondorf, and then there's like similarities. I don't know. I guess like just like a big somebody that's a big deal. It's just it's so hard to think of that. Like,
I am struggling to come up with a name myself, but I did look in the Game Informer comment section, and the two that caught my eye the most were Willem Dafoe and Idris Elba.
I could see Idris Elba. I think Willem Dafoe would be too goofy.
I could see that, yeah. He's a great Green Goblin, but I think he would be a little bit over the top for Ganondorf.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Idris Elba would probably be the one that makes the most sense of those two. Robert Downey Jr. I don't know.
Just have him play the big bad of two different universes.
Yeah. Why the hell not?
God, that would be incredible. But I also couldn't see it. But that would be, it would be fun if nothing else.
It'd be fun. Yeah. Also, we don't know if Ganondorf is he's going to be in the movie, but we don't know if Ganondorf is in the movie.
Yeah, you never know. Logan and I came to the conclusion that it might be tough to sell like either a Calamity Ganon or a Beast Ganon right off the bat. So my prediction was that we're going to get like 90% of the movie will have Ganondorf. And then at the end, it might be like a big battle against Beast Ganon, like kind of like the end of Ocarina of Time or the end of Breath of the Wild.
Or they just keep on alternating between the two. They just do like some weird like creative liberties, which I think that you just kind of have to anticipate and expect. There's going to be creative liberty. Like, this is not going to be a one-to-one replica of one of the games to the movie. It's not. It
just the way the Mario movie wasn't like a one-to-one replica, but it had references to different games throughout.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the way it goes.
Chris Pratt can be Ganon.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
Also, something I caught on to when I was searching for these actors this morning was that when you type their names into Google, there are little Easter eggs. I don't know if you caught this, but if you type Bo Bragason into Google and hit enter, the results will populate, and then right below the search bar, it'll say, "Well, excuse me, princess."
Oh, that's funny.
And then if you type Evan Ainsworth, it goes, "Kya? Here?"
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a little fun Easter egg that I spotted when I was searching for them this morning when I was putting together the show notes here. But Ben,
do you think we'll get Navi?
Oh man, that might be a post-credit stinger. I was originally thinking maybe Ganon would be a post-credit stinger, and like we get some other type of villain in the first one. But like Logan was saying that he thinks they go for broke with putting Ganon or Ganondorf, probably Ganondorf, in this one, just because like a second movie is never guaranteed.
No.
So I think maybe like Navi would be a good post-credit scene, like Link, like just like, I don't know.
I think you put Navi in the movie. I think that you put Midna in a post-credit scene. I think that you put somebody else as a post-credit scene. I think you have Link turn into a kid as a post-credit scene. Like, but I think that you do Navi because then you can get another big name actor or actress. Like, print that money. Be a voice for the fairy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's so many different ways they could go with this, and we have another year and a half before this movie comes out, right? Or 2 years?
Something like that. Where are they filming? Did they say like New Zealand or like?
Oh, I'm sure it's something like that. Somewhere beautiful.
Yeah, not here.
Not New Jersey.
No.
But Ben, let's jump into this week's Pokemon Presents. We'll go mostly chronological, but where it makes sense to kind of shift around the stuff here, I've altered the way we're going to talk about this. It started out with a look at the 2025 Pokemon World Championships, which are happening in Anaheim, California next month. And they also announced that all competitors will receive a special promo card called Paradise Resort that reduces the retreat cost of all Psyducks by 1 energy, but it's the art that you're really about on that one, and like the fact that it has the little stamp that says Pokemon World Championships 2025. So that's cool.
Let me tell you something. The last time that they did a playable World Championship promo, it broke the game for a while. Like it was, I think it was, I want to say Champions Festival or Tropical Beach or something like that. It might have been Tropical Beach. Where basically, like, you got to draw extra cards if your hands weren't full, and it was a stadium, and like people were breaking it out of plaques to put it into their deck, and you did not have a playable deck unless you had that card, and that card is not easy to get. You had to attend the World Championships, you had to trade, or you had to buy it, so sure, yeah. Fewer retreat costs for Psyduck, whatever. Fine.
Yeah, don't make it super overpowered. Have you ever been to the Pokemon World Championships?
Several times.
Okay. Actually. What's it like? What's the atmosphere like? What is there to do if you go to that, if you're just like an attendee?
Well, so there were times where I played competitively, and then there were times where I was staffing, and then one year I was actually in the giant Pikachu costume. And so that was yeah. They didn't know how to put that costume on correctly. It was a brand new costume that zipped from the inside, and so I was working backstage, and they point to me, and they're like, "Well, what about you?" And I'm like, "Well, what about me?" And then all of a sudden, I'm in that giant costume for 3 hours in the Vancouver heat. That was 2013. No, but the atmosphere is that it's just one giant party, but there's just so much going on, and now I would say that the last Worlds that I've been to was probably 2014. So now that's 11 years ago. It's become a lot bigger now than ever before, which is slightly intimidating. I'd love to go back, but it's electrifying. It feels like a major sporting event. It feels like while at the same time feeling like a giant festival. It's really cool. but it can also be very overwhelming. It depends on what you want to do. Like, if you want to compete, good luck. Like, because that's a very hard barrier of entry to get into, in any of the different things. But if you want to just go and enjoy it, you're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, I have been kicking around going one of these years, and this seemed like maybe it was the year, but then a bunch of other stuff has popped up, so I don't know if I'll be able to make it.
Let's do San Diego next year. Let's
Is
do
that
it.
what it is next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to see what. I mean, I don't even know if
or San Francisco. I forget. It's San Diego or San Francisco. One of the.
I don't even know if we're gonna make it to 2026 at this rate.
This is fair. Yeah.
But hey, 2025 Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim next month. Looks like a lot of fun. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But we also got a sneak peek at the Pokemon Trading Card Games new Mega Evolution expansion set, which comes out on September 26th. How's your collection coming along, Ben?
Messy. Here's the thing. Pokemon has become awful in terms of collecting, in my personal opinion. I've got a few ETBs, Pokemon Center ones.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to open these. I'd love to crack them open, see the packs. But, like, I've got friends that are telling me, like, sit on them. Don't. That's a bummer. I hate what this franchise has become. Or rather, what this hobby, specifically the cards, have become. I try to get, like, some packs from every set that comes out now. I follow an account on Twitter that, like, posts when sets go live and you can pre-order and everything, but, like, sometimes it just sucks. Like, you don't get through. Bots get through. That's what it's become. Mm-hmm. The general consensus from friends of mine is, like, if you want a specific card, just, like, order it on TCG Player. Don't even crack packs open. So, how about you?
Well, I've been doing photo galleries for Game Informer, so it's a lot of really cool drops and everything that I'm getting. But yeah, like, I don't know, it's a behemoth to keep up with. So but I am, like I said, I'm going to Japan next week, so I always also will look at all of the cards they have up there. I still need to reclaim my Blaine's Arcanine from the second set, I think, that they put out, where I was stolen from me when it was a Japanese Blaine's Arcanine. So I might specifically look for that when I'm
Gym Challenge, which was I want to say 5th set.
Okay.
Pokemon Gym Challenge.
All right. Well, I will keep my eyes open. It's the one that does like 200 damage, which was obscene. I have one. Yeah. It was 150 or 200. It was obscene back in the day that a card would do that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was stolen from me when I was a kid. So I want to get another one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that for Pokemon cards, if you want that to be your hobby, then that's your only hobby. Unfortunately, the sets have just become too big. There's literally 2 sets for one set.
Yeah, the black and white one.
Yeah, it's silly. So, I don't know. I love it, I hate it.
The story of my life. So, yes. We got 2 animated shows also in this Pokemon Presents. Pokemon Concierge, which is the Netflix show. Season 2 is coming out September 4th, and we got a new look at some footage. It looks like this season is going to feature a lot of new Pokemon, and Celio is like seeming to be like one of the main Pokemon that are going to be featured. And then
has to be a main character somewhere.
And then a character that appears to be Haru's ex-boyfriend. So sure, it looks cute as ever. I mean, when it came on, multiple Game Informer editors were like, "Oh my god, I love Pokemon Concierge." I'm like, "Oh, I've never watched it, but I should probably because it looks absolutely adorable." And speaking of which, Pokemon Tales: The Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu. A weird combination if I've ever seen one, but it's the studio behind Wallace and Gromit, so that immediately drew my attention. And it's doing stop motion show about Pokemon, and it's Sirfetch'd and Pichu. It's debuting in 2027, and there was a small teaser where Wooloo was hanging out in a field while Sirfetch'd and Pichu are kind of causing chaos off screen. Sounded like maybe ran into a Charizard who baked an apple with his fire, and then the Wooloo just starts eating at it. The Wooloo is absolutely adorable. I will say that in that trailer.
This one is also Netflix, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Which of these two are you most excited for?
I think I turned on Pokemon Concierge once for my niece and nephew, and they weren't really having it. I think that they really liked the regular show more. I would say probably the Wallace and Gromit one is probably like the one that really like interests me. But like I grew up with some Wallace and Gromit cartoons. There's Chicken Run. That's the same animation studio, and that's a deep cut. But look, more ways of showing off Pokemon in different animation styles. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So after that, we then got the first thing that really piqued my interest in this stream, and that is the PokéPark Kanto segment.
Yeah.
And you were talking about going to Disney World. I think that this might be up your alley as well. It's a 26,000 square meter park that will be in Tokyo's Yomiuri Land, and it'll be the first ever permanent outdoor Pokemon attraction. And we'll have two distinct areas. One is Sedgetown, and one is the Pokemon Forest. Sedgetown looks like it's modeled after an in-game Pokemon town, so they showed some of that stuff. I would imagine, there will be shops. I mean, obviously there's going to be shops that are going to merchandise the crap out of this. There'll probably be houses you can go into like any other Pokemon town. And of course, there's got to be a Pokemon Center. So that's going to be fun. It also showed a Pikachu ride in the middle of town, like the mock-up showed that, as well as a battle area. I don't know if that's like an interactive thing or if it was just like, hey, because there was like a Gyarados and there was like a Garchomp on it, I think.
I'm so confused by this thing.
Why?
Because is it like we go there and they're animatronics, or are they like just like porcelain sculptures of Pokemon?
All the mock-ups looked like they were statues.
Okay, so is it an outdoor museum?
I don't know. I'm quite confused by this as well. They said that there's going to be like Junichi Masuda was the person who was kind of presenting this segment. And he said they wanted to bring, quote, real Pokemon and put them all throughout this area and mostly in the woods because like the woods is going to be like where the wild Pokemon are. And they showed off some of the footage of the park and it looks like there are just like statues of Pokemon. I would not be surprised if they leverage kind of the same tech that they have in like the Nintendo World parks where it's like you see them moving back and forth on like a set path. Like there's like a Shy Guy who looks extremely realistic in Nintendo World, just walking back and forth. I could see them leveraging some of that. I mean, Pokemon has the money, so you'd think they could.
I'm just so confused because he said that they want to bring Pokemon to like real life, and then I see these sculptures and I'm like, well, this is two different things. This is weird.
I think it's just a diorama. I think they were just showing a diorama, showing off that. And I would be shocked if it's just like the stagnant statues. I would bet some of them might be that, but like it would be weird if you're just walking around and it's just like Pokemon that have no movement whatsoever. Even if it's just like when you walk past, like there's a motion sensor that like they turn their head and like look at you and maybe say like their name or whatever, or do like the digitized growl.
But I'm also surprised that they didn't find a way to like gamify it, like how you're like
they could.
They could, but like when we go to like the Mario Land and everything like that, like we've got the bands, we can like they've turned it into play. Like I'm really surprised that they're not doing something with like using Pokemon Go technology and like you have your phone or something, you can throw a ball and like you can catch the Pokemon that's physically there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I bet they will. We're just scratching the surface. This is like the most in-depth look we've gotten of this thing.
It is.
And I bet we're going to get a Pokemon Presents either later this year, or maybe they just drop a video, because like the next Pokemon Presents, at least the guaranteed one, is going to be February 27th, 2026.
Right.
And this
Right.
park is supposedly opening at the start of next year, with tickets going on sale at the end of this year.
I
So
could see us getting another Pokemon Presents actually in December.
yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe when
As
to coincide with the tickets going on sale, maybe they
yeah,
can do that. But that's something I'm going to be monitoring with great care. You know, I really want this thing
yeah,
to be as
yeah,
cool as Nintendo World. Like, Nintendo World was like a revolutionary thing for me when I went to the one in Osaka in particular.
yeah.
But what is your number one thing you wish that they would have at this park?
I mean, I guess like that, like the idea of gamifying it in some way. Like, I need to know, like, just like walking around a park and seeing Pokemon existing in a world is not enough for me. I want to know how me as a trainer can interact with these Pokemon. I want to
Mhm.
like actually like, could I build a team? Could I like
That would be
scan
cool.
a like I want to know like what's and like I have that team saved on my phone and then I can see their stats. Like I want to like come on, do something.
You know there's going to be a companion app for this park. The I mean, this next section of the Pokemon Presents tells us that, because we entered the mobile games getting updates portion of the show,
Oh yes.
which, I mean, there's one thing Pokemon loves more than not pouring the amount of resources that they should into their mainline games, and that is churning out mobile games. Because goodness gracious, like, it's wild how many mobile games are still being supported regularly by Pokemon. Um, so Pokemon Go Fest 2025 is called Max Finale. It's
Yep.
happening on August 23rd and 24th. It'll be the first time that Eternatus from Sword and Shield will appear. And if you are a Pokemon Go player, which you seem to indicate you still are, Ben, you can use the code GoFestMax right now and get some
Still
in-game
am.
bonuses. I, I every time I've re-downloaded it thinking like, oh, this would be fun, I am reminded by how, like, I'm in like such a soft lock, like, fail state in that game, where it's like I have too much stuff in all of my boxes, and unless I spend
Yeah.
money to expand those, I haven't kept up with it in a way that, like, I can, you know, earn the coins in the gyms to retrieve more, like, space to catch Pokemon. And it's like a self-defeating cycle where it's like, oh well, I guess I'm just stuck unless I drop like
So
$20.
so that's the thing that's preventing you from going back into it.
Yeah.
Okay, transfer everything. I mean, don't do that. Like transfer a lot of things,
Yeah, I
and then
could.
just start putting Pokemon in gyms. Earn your 50 coins a day, and then just like get there.
But
You
I also was
know,
like, I've gotten to a point where I don't want, like, to have my phone out when I'm walking, and
that's fair. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm enjoying little walks around my neighborhood. I just moved in March, so like I'm still exploring the area, which Pokemon Go is great for that time, but like eventually it's like, man, I'm just like staring at my phone the whole time I'm walking around, and it's, I don't
this
know,
is true.
it's
Yeah.
frustrating. But we also got Pokemon Cafe Remix adding a pirate themed update where you can meet Lapras and customize your cafe with pirate, sea, and nautical themed decorations. They're
What
also
what went through your brain when you saw that giant ship and that Lapras? Just the very first thing.
I
Did you
had
immediately think Pokemon Cafe Remix?
I had no idea what was happening. I thought maybe it was a new, like, I thought Pokemon Masters, maybe
Yeah, yeah.
like maybe some pirate trainers. I don't know. But also getting a Alolan Meowth, Totodile, and Minccino having special crew themed outfits. And then the Summer Fun outfit Jigglypuff is available right now if you log in, which I've always wanted to check this out.
It's got a good art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool art style. You know what? God bless Cerebi for basically abandoning everything else in his life so he
Yeah.
can cover all of these things.
My goodness.
Because nobody else out there, I hope, for their mental sanity, does every single thing for Pokemon.
Yeah, there are the fan driven, like, outlets and websites they really are doing the Lord's work for a lot of
Yeah.
these things. But yeah, I could not possibly keep up with all the developments and everything. Then Pokemon Sleep, adding Raikou, Entei, and Suicune from Pokemon Gold and Silver, while Pokemon Unite is adding Latios and Latios.
Here's the thing: Pokemon Sleep already has Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. They were already added.
Then
They're
what is this?
returning. I don't know. I was so confused. So I play Pokemon Sleep, and because I don't know.
Are you still playing? Wait. Are you playing TCG Pocket too?
No, that one I stopped.
Okay, I was gonna say, how do you find time for all of these games?
I had to stop. Like that one I stopped, I think, pretty early on. But Pokemon Go, it's fine. Pokemon Sleep, that one's easy. Like I'm sleeping, man, and just like every now and then I feed my Pokemon or whatever. But they did Raikou, Entei, and Suicune literally last year, so I don't know why they're bringing them back, other than to bring them back for people that didn't get them, number one. And number two, introduce some sort of new mechanic for them. Maybe make it easier to get them in some way.
I don't know.
Because like earlier this year, they did bring in Cresselia and Darkrai, so they are starting to do the other legendaries and stuff. I would think that it's because other people didn't get them. But they also did Raikou, Entei, and Suicune not all at once, but like over several months. It's possible that maybe these three, they're doing them all at once for one big event. I don't know. Right now, the current event that's going on is their second anniversary with Torchic, Mudkip, and Trico being added to the game, and plus Luminol. And so that's a 2-week event that's been going on.
How is Pokemon Sleep not compatible with Alarmo?
Missed opportunity.
Like both Nintendo and the Pokemon
That's
Company
a really
have
good point. Yeah.
I don't understand, but which do you think would be more accepted to do in the PokéPark? Pokemon Go or Pokemon Sleep?
Well, I would say that, oh man, I think that Pokemon Go is going to be a problem in the park.
Oh yeah. People are going to be, I mean, especially if there's some sort of gamification in PokéPark,
Yeah.
they are going to be like, no, we want you to play this game, not the Pokemon Go. But then they're going to be like, well, what are they going to do? Like disable Pokemon Go once you enter like the...
Scopely's going to be so pissed. Like...
But I mean, they could do so much more if it's beyond like what Pokemon Go is capable of. But yeah, you would think that Scopely is reaching out to them right now, being like, hey, how can we integrate Pokemon Go into the PokéPark?
How can we make money to integrate Pokemon Go into the Pokemon? Yeah.
What other reason would a mobile game developer have to reach out about that?
Yeah.
But there was one more mobile game announcement, and that was one that I'm actually semi-interested in. That is Pokemon Friends. And
I downloaded it.
I downloaded it as well. I've not really done much. I did like the intro puzzles, but it's billed as a way to unwind with various puzzles that earn you yarn, and then you can use that to create in-game Pokemon plushies, and you can log in daily to earn rewards and then get bonuses from friends that you make in the town. So it is free on iOS and Android, but if you want to play it on Switch, it's $10. And I looked into like what the difference is there.
That I didn't know. That's crazy.
So at first I was like, okay, well, they just, because it's like the console premium, but I looked into it and it looks like the Switch version actually comes with the basic pack included within that purchase price, whereas the mobile version does not come with the basic pack. And the basic pack adds 30 different puzzle types, 70 craftable plushies, and 11 yarn types. And then there's $26 worth of DLC available for the Switch version, but then there's $34 worth of DLC for the mobile version. So the basic pack is DLC for the mobile version, whereas it seems like it's built in to the Switch version.
I hate this.
But, like, the
I have
puzzles, like, it's such an interesting thing. It looks like something I would enjoy, though, because it's like taking a lot of the puzzle ideas that you see in Mario, Sonic, and Zelda games, but then, like, slapping it onto a Pokemon thing, but the pricing structure seems so out of whack.
I I feel like that we should have seen this coming once Wordle became a phenomenon. This is Pokemon's version of Wordle.
Squirtle.
Squirtle. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I look at some of these mobile games, and I look at kind of like, you know, I think we're gonna get into Legends
Who's
ZA.
playing these?
I wonder, like, has Pokemon gotten to, like, this is the wealth extraction era of Pokemon, where it's like, all right, we have the biggest entertainment franchise on the planet. Let's just put out as much stuff as we can and extract as much wealth as we can from this. Or because, like, we saw Scarlet and Violet release in the state that it was in. Legends Arceus, I love, but it was also, like, you know, still struggling to keep
Without
up.
its problems. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know. It seems like the community is in a constant state of frustration with this franchise, even as I think that a lot of it's overblown. But, like, I don't know.
I
Like, this
I
is such, like,
do
a weird pricing structure for this game.
I do think that Pokemon has reached a point of DTM, doing too much.
Mm.
You know? Like it has become too much of spinning too many plates and trying to make too many people happy, and then accepting that the sacrifice of, like, losing some major audience people. I don't we'll get into it, I'm sure, when we talk more about the state of Pokemon, but, like, this game is buns. Like, I don't know. Like, I did, like, one or two of the puzzles, and I guess that was, like, fun, but I'm like, I am a 2 mobile game minimum. Like, that is it. Like, that's the maximum. I tried doing Persona 5X. I was texting you about that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great, but I do not have the time to keep up with that. And I do not have time to keep up with a third Pokemon mobile game. I did do Pokemon Masters EX for a while. That was another one they talked about today. And, like, let me tell you, that game was super cool when it first came out. It's impossible to manage now.
It is. There's just too many
There's
games.
too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I've whittled it down to one mobile game that I play. It's not even a Pokemon game. I play Clash Royale again after years of not playing that. I played it when it first came out because everybody at Game Informer was playing it, and then I was, like, getting too frustrated with it, and now I'm back at it, and I'm just, like, taking it super casually, basically, and I'm having a much better time. I muted the emotes because the emotes are just all trolling, and that's a feature that they added. So, like, I can't keep up with more than 2 games max. But even then, like, I when I had Marvel Strike Force on my phone, I found myself enjoying Clash Royale so much more that I just, like, deleted Marvel Strike Force.
For Pokemon Go, I've got friends that talk about doing competitive and doing, like, rankings, and I'm like, oh, kill me now. Like, no. Like, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna go play Donkey Kong. I'm gonna go play big boy games.
I don't even have enough time to play, like, the console games that I want to, and, like,
yeah,
phone games that are designed to take up your time and, in a lot of cases, money. Just, you know, it doesn't really do much for me. Once you get past those early times of, like, oh wow, this is a really fun and engaging gameplay loop, and then they're like, well, how can we frustrate you into spending money?
Yeah. So with Pokemon Masters EX, like, the idea was actually really cool. Like, I love the idea of lore in Pokemon games. I love the idea of all these different trainers, like, interacting and everything. But after a while, it became very samey. Like, the trainers were all saying the same thing. Oh, it's nice to meet you. Let's battle sometime. Oh, you beat me. Well, we'll meet again. And, like, that's just it across the board. There's not an actual finality to it. And so, like, that's one element of, like, one of these mobile games that I just want more in the main series games. Like, I would love to see a main series game where you're interacting with all of these different trainers from the past, and it actually matters. Like, They kind of did a little bit of that in Black 2, White 2. They kind of did a little bit of that in Sun and Moon and everything like that. But like, we haven't really seen much more of that. We'll get into it with like other Pokemon stuff that we're going to talk about, but I digress.
Well, after that, we did get a jump up to the console games, which is exciting. First up with Scarlet and Violet updates. They rightfully highlighted how the Switch 2 upgrade makes Scarlet and Violet run so much better. Then they announced a new Terra Raid battle event called the Shiny Treasures of Ruin, which will also have mass outbreaks for grass, ice, ground, and fire type Pokemon. And then they shared that you can get a tracksuit for your character through a mystery gift functionality. If you have Scarlet, you can enter the S tracksuit with the I replaced with a 1. And then in Violet, you can enter V tracksuit with the I replaced by a 1 to get those tracksuits.
Key piece of information about those Treasures of Ruin. In order to actually catch them, you have to, like, collectively, we as a society have to defeat them 1 million times.
Oh boy.
I mean, like, real talk, it'll probably happen within a day. So, like, probably no big deal. But that's like, it's quite like the, I don't know, rug pulling underneath from you sort of scenario. Still kind of cool. Thanks for reminding us that things are better on the Switch too.
Yeah, and I mean, it does. It runs super great.
It is. Like, I've been playing some Scarlet here and there. Like, first time playing Scarlet, I've already beaten Violet, so now I'm like doing my Scarlet save file, and it's nice to see that it's not a seemingly broken game. There are times where the game just freezes, though.
Oh, I haven't run into that.
Yeah, so I have run into a few times where, like, I'm riding around on Koraidon, and the Legendary, and, like, I'm in an open area, and, like, it's raining, and there's clearly too much happening, and, like, the game just stops for, like, a split second, and then it continues.
So it's just a hiccup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still not the end of the world, but
yeah, it's a hiccup. Yeah.
Okay. They closed out the show with updates to, I think, the 2 most exciting games they have announced so far, and that is the first one, Pokémon Champions. This was announced this past February on Pokemon Day. I think you were on that episode, Ben.
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like it could be the successor to Pokemon Stadium, but there's just still so much we don't know about it. And, it's battle focused, it uses the traditional turn-based battling style of the series. You can import your Pokemon from Pokemon Home, or you can recruit them in the game. So you can temporarily recruit them or use victory points, which you earn from battles, to permanently add them to your team. You can also use your victory points to train your Pokemon to buff their individual stats or add new moves. And the battles happen in either ranked or casual via matchmaking, or you can do private battles against friends. And then the battles can also play out as single or double battles. It's coming to Switch as well as iOS and Android in 2026. And the iOS and Android component makes me a little bit nervous because I don't want this to be another, like, all right, yeah, you can play this, you're going to see how cool it is, and then you're going to have to start spending some money or grinding relentlessly in order to get anywhere.
Well, I don't think that this is the successor to Stadium. I think that this is the successor to competitive. I think that this is going to be what they're going to use as a platform to do competitive instead of the main series games going forward.
Yeah, I was just talking primarily in, like, the sense of, like, it's just a battle-focused game.
It's a battle simulator.
There's not really, like, a story based around it,
right?
It looks like, anyway.
I mean, look, I don't think I'm going to play it. Like, I can't just, like, straight up battle and not have a story. Yeah. I don't know. That's hard for me to, like, get into. But I think that it's going to be a good thing to get more people into competitive VGC.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it looks like it's cool. It looks like it's fine. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop because, how much are they going to... the mobile aspect of it always makes me a little bit tentative. Even as somebody who enjoys a fair share of mobile games when I download them and everything. But like to have it be like, yeah, it's on Switch, but also iOS and Android. It's like,
Yeah.
man, are they going to be like, it's free, but like you, in order to get victory
Microtransactions.
points, you can drop like, you can play 100 battles, or you can just pay $15 and get that same amount. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is this all in house? Like, is this all Game Freak that's making this one?
The Pokmon Works, which is a collaborative studio between Ilka, who did the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl game, and the Pokemon Company, and Home. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like a collaborative developer between those two companies.
Okay.
This is their first game. So
good luck.
That is coming out next year. Yeah. And then we closed out Pokemon Presents with another look at Pokémon Legends ZA, which I still don't like the name of. I think that's clunky.
Za. Eating some Za with Pokemon Za.
God, I wish I had some pizza right now.
Yeah, right.
The game takes place in Lumio City from Pokemon X and Y. We already knew that. The city was kind of converted to become a place where like humans and Pokemon can coexist. But we learned that there is a strange anomaly happening where wild Pokemon are mega evolving on their own and losing control of their powers. During the day, you can explore the city and catch Pokemon. Then at night, you can take part in the ZA Royale, which is a tournament where trainers battle to raise their ranks. And then it looks like you will be helping out Team MZ. And you met a couple of the team members there. And then they showed off the Rust Syndicate. I almost said Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil, yeah.
The Rust Syndicate, who basically looks like it's the prototypical rival team that's probably responsible for the mega evolutions that are happening, if we're being honest.
Yeah, it's an easy dot connect.
Yeah, and it's led by a guy named Corbo, who is also in the ZA Royale. In the city, you can explore, you can have coffee with your Pokemon, it looks like. They showed, I guess, a little Larvitar sitting at a cafe with a trainer. You can customize your character's hairstyle, their looks, their outfit. You can even give your Frofro, the poodle Pokemon, you can give them a haircut if you want. And then you can also go around and help with side quests. There's Emma, who is the best detective in Lumio City. You can help her with her caseloads.
She was at the end of X and Y.
Oh.
She was in post game. Yeah.
Okay.
So now, here she's grown up. Yeah.
Okay. And then you can also help Mabel, who is the director of the Pokemon Research Lab in Lumios. And then there are other NPCs with side quests that you can tackle in Lumios. Interestingly enough, they did denote early on that the footage was all from the Switch 2 version, which it's not uncommon for like, other platform holders to show like the new gen version of their games in trailers. Like if there was a new Halo game coming out right now that was on Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Xbox One, you're probably not going to see any footage of the Xbox Series S and Xbox One version.
No.
But given Pokemon's recent history with performance, does that make you worry for the Switch 1 version?
Worry is a strong word. I don't care about the Switch 1 version.
You're that Don Draper meme of I don't even think about you at all.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. The Switch 1 version is probably going to run as expected and very poorly. Clunky. It's going to be clunky.
Yeah, more than likely.
Hell hath no fury if the Switch 2 version runs clunky. That better not run clunky.
Yeah, it is. It has to run better.
Yeah.
Like at least on par with Scarlet and Violet, the Switch 2 version.
I want better than that. I don't want any hiccups, and I don't want any there's no excuse anymore.
Well, you might have to recalibrate your expectations because we will have to see how it is. But
just accept.
Yeah, just do what we've all done and taken a defeatist attitude and a little bit of Stockholm syndrome and accept that it might not be the most highly performing game. But
I know.
It's coming to Switch and Switch 2 on October 16th. They also announced a Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 bundle, which will cost $500 like the Mario Kart World bundle and include a full game download of Pokemon Legends ZA in addition to a Switch 2. But for whatever reason, it doesn't look like there are any visual differences in the Switch 2 console. I have thought all right, at first I was like, that's really stupid. But then I thought about it more, and I wonder if they are worried that fans will be upset because the diehards who bought a Switch 2 at launch would be like, you're already giving us a cool looking Switch 2 variant. Like, I just dropped $450 to $500 on this thing like 6 months ago.
You're absolutely right. So I don't think that you do a Switch 2 variant with this game. You do a Switch 2 variant for next year's 30th anniversary game.
That's 100% what I was thinking. So
Yeah.
either that, or maybe they're being more straight-laced with this console and they don't want any kind of customization, but that seems less likely.
Also, tariffs could be a thing. I don't know.
It's entirely possible they're just like, hey, how can we rebundle the Switch 2s we already have in the country?
Yeah. Yeah. Without like painting or like, redesigning or whatever.
Yeah.
There was also Mega Dragonite.
Yes, Mega Dragonite, which Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon, so I am happy for that.
Are you happy about the design?
Whatever. I don't care. Like, he looks ridiculous, but so do most Mega Evolved and Terastallized Pokemon. They all look ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Aside from, like, was it Mega Charizard X, I think?
Yeah, that one looks sick.
Yeah.
And Blastoise.
Yeah. But most Mega Evolved Pokemon do look a little silly. I will say that.
Yeah.
So I expected it. When they were like, hey, you got a Mega Dragonite. I'm like, all right, let's see how this looks. Yep. As goofy as I thought it would.
Yeah.
I do like that they're implementing more like Dragonair features in him, because like that's been the weird thing, is that they're always, it's like, all right, well, Dratini,
what's the length here? Yeah.
Dragonair, then suddenly out of nowhere, random anime dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it was a weird dock connect. I feel a little not thrilled about this presentation.
Yeah, well, first of all, how are you feeling about Legends ZA?
I'm looking forward to it. I always
forget. Are you an Arceus fan? I forget about.
I loved Arceus.
Okay, same.
Loved Arceus.
Yes,
loved Arceus. It was probably one of my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite Pokemon games. It's probably my favorite Pokemon Switch game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like the idea behind the Legends games. The fact that this one takes place like in the future, well, like after instead of in the past. I like that aspect. I like that change.
So do I.
I like the idea of previous starters getting some sort of like new element to them. I think the last time that we talked about this, I do not think that these starters are going to get new evolutions. I think they're going to get new mega evolutions.
Yeah.
Or they're going to get mega evolutions on top of their previous evolutions.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. And I like that it's a story-focused game. That's the that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
I am excited for having the just that structure again, right? Like it was much more freeform. It was about like if you're helping Mabel in the Pokemon Research Lab, that's going to be something that like I think is going to kind of play into the format that you had with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Also, one thing I don't think we touched on the boss battles, where they are the Mega Evolved Pokemon, the Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, they're called.
Yeah.
They look just like the battles of the Frenzied Nobles from Arceus.
And the Titan Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah. But basically it's the same idea.
I love that like they're bringing that back. The real-time battle system seems like it is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I think that fits right in with those boss battles. I think there could be some cool stuff that they do with that. And Arceus had some really intense boss battles, and I think that they could really capitalize on that with this one.
I don't think it's going to be as quote unquote violent as Arceus. Like Arceus could have been part of Arceus's draw was how unforgiving it was sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this game, because it takes place in a more developed society, it's going to have that element necessarily.
Maybe, who knows? The Legends games,
Yeah,
they look like they might be playing a little fast and loose with some of
that's
those
true.
rules in the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah.
Were you surprised there wasn't like a one more thing like tease of like a big thing like the next gen or anything like that?
No, no.
Okay.
I wasn't surprised at all. I don't think that you I don't think that you tease another gen when you have a major game release up on like for a brand new console and for the previous like I just don't think that you do that. And I think that the next one is it the 30th anniversary next year? I'm pretty sure it
It
is.
is. It is. Yeah, in Japan.
You save that for Pokemon Day and you hold tight onto that and you make sure that that is damn good. You do not you don't screw up on that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw some people expressing sentiment like, "Oh, that kind of ended like, with nothing really jaw-dropping the way you expect."
I I think that would have been a little bit better than just showing off Mega Dragonite, possibly showing off other megas. The megas of the starters could have been cool. And potentially new Pokemon, if there are any new Pokemon.
Yeah, because we got a lot of new
Like
Pokemon
Divergent
in.
Evolutions.
Yeah, yeah. In Legends Arceus, we got quite a few new Pokemon, and
We got some new like evolutions and new variants basically. Like I want to see like that. I guess I was a little surprised that they didn't show any of that. Instead, they just told us about Billy or like Theodore or like Nancy. And I'm like, I don't know any of these people. None of these people matter to me. Why are you telling me about them right now? I'm just going to read their dialogue when they're talking to me. I don't know.
maybe a hot take from me, but like the memorable NPCs in the Pokemon franchise are very few and far between.
That's not a hot take. It's like that is like I guess Cynthia from Diamond Pearl Platinum, all those. N Black and White, and like I guess you could say every evil boss.
Yeah, there's been a few like I don't know, like the rivals are usually pretty memorable.
The rivals are pretty memorable when they're dead.
Yeah.
When they're nice, I want to forget about them immediately.
What grade would you give this Pokemon Presents?
I would give it a number or letter.
Let's do a letter grade.
I would give it a C minus.
That's exactly where I landed as well.
Yeah. Nothing was astonishing. And maybe I'm being even too nice with that. Part of me that would give it a D. Like this was I guess I expected more from Legends. I'm tired of hearing about mobile games. I don't know any other way of saying it. I mean, they're for you, but by that same token, they are for somebody.
Yeah, somebody's playing them.
Somebody's playing them. They still exist because people are playing them. How old is Cafe Remix? Like 5 years old, maybe 5, 6 years old. Like there are people that are apparently playing that.
And for them, that was probably an exciting update. So like that's the thing is like these. We're not saying these are bad Pokemon Presents. We're saying for us that this is how excited we are for the stuff that we saw.
I am one person that's playing Pokemon Sleep. Like, all right, fine. You reminded me that Entei, Suicune, and Raikou exist, and they're coming back, I guess. Like, not a great major update for me. I don't know. C minus D. If you ask me tomorrow, it'll probably be an F.
Well, let's not get carried away. At least we got Pokemon Legends ZA. It looks like a good game. I think Pokemon Champions, it looks fun. Pokemon Friends, like I don't know. It might be fun. I haven't put enough time into it to really like stick with it and evaluate it,
Yeah.
When would you consider the peak of your Pokemon fandom?
I would say probably when I was playing the card game competitively.
So like 12, 13 years ago?
Yeah, like I would say probably from like high school to like, or no, like probably even like younger. Like high school, I think I got like really into the competitive scene, and that was when Nintendo like took over the card game and everything like that. It was harder to do Wizards of the Coast stuff um, for me. Like stuff wasn't around. When Nintendo took over the brand, it became a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just like red, blue, yellow, diamond, pearl, or gold, silver, crystal, like ruby, sapphire, emerald, fire, red, leaf, green, diamond, pearl, platinum, heart, gold, soul, silver. I think things kind of like fell a little bit more while I was in med school for obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
but I mean, like I've always played the main series games. Like the cards, I've recently gotten back into, but kind of regret it because of just all the issues with the cards. How about you?
I mean, it was probably red and blue. Like literally the first games that came out, I was crazy about. I played constantly. I fell off pretty immediately after that, and then Pokemon Go or Pokemon X and Y got me back into the franchise and kind of like, okay, I'll play like the mainline games. That
You didn't
that
play
kind of
Gold, Silver, Crystal?
not at first. I went back and played them afterwards.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, and then because like when I was a kid, I was like, I don't want to learn 100 new Pokemon. Like I like the ones that I
Okay. Yeah.
know. Like I'm just gonna replay red and blue instead of gold, silver, crystal, and then eventually I would go back and I'm like, yeah, these were substantially better.
Right.
Um, X and Y got me back into the series. I liked Sun and Moon just fine, but like Pokemon Go was the one that like got me back up to like, oh, I'm almost as big of a Pokemaniac as I was back in like 1999.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the peak of my Pokemon fandom, and like I still really love the Pokemon franchise, but yeah, they need to really demonstrate that they are giving me what I want. And I know that's a selfish way to look at it, but like we're talking about from our perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely like aspects of the franchise where I'm like, this is not for me
Hmm.
anymore. It's for somebody, but it's not me.
Yeah. Which segues into like, just give me your overall thoughts about the state of the Pokemon franchise right now. We've touched on it a little bit back and forth, but yeah, like are you feeling good about the direction? Are you like, how would you like to see it change or, excuse the pun, evolve going forward from here?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more focus on the main series games, but that's because I grew up with them and I'm selfish and I'm wrong. Like I'm not the person that should make that decision, I feel. Like if I had it my way, I would do a game that has every single region and it's like they all take place like 10 years after or whatever and it's all like whatever sequel like it would it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But I also feel that people in my age group also that still like the franchise or grew up with the franchise probably feel exactly the same way. Like they all would want that. Um, at the same time, I want a bigger emphasis on new Pokemon instead of like new products of existing Pokemon. Like I want to see new creatures. I want to see them branch out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
unfortunately, that takes time. And talking with the
Yeah.
team, they basically start designing Pokemon and they go through like the ideation process pretty quickly after they launch that new game. Um, so I think that it's just like they have to. They're over 1,000 Pokemon now, so it's I think it's
Yeah.
hard for them to continue coming up with all new ideas.
I think that the current state of the Pokemon franchise and fandom is that the franchise has gotten ridiculously huge, and there's so many people that love it that it's impossible to get cards now. That sucks. Um, I don't know. I feel like they don't have to try to make things a draw anymore, but they're going to because it's a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the franchise has certainly ballooned in ways that I don't know if even anybody at the Pokemon Company thought it would.
Yeah.
And it certainly is disheartening to see like people scalping Pokemon cards and everything. But I think the franchise as a whole, this next generation is going to tell us a lot about, because like we can say, all right, well, you had difficulty developing for the Switch. If they have difficulty developing for Switch 2, then the series is truly in trouble.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not in trouble financially. Trust me, I understand. The Pokemon Company is making more money than God, but
Yes.
like they would be in trouble in terms of their reputation. They would be in trouble in terms of like how much
It's not a
attention I
good
could pay
look.
to. Yes, exactly.
It's not. It just won't be a good look. Like, and it'll show that they didn't learn anything. My hope is that they felt so much shame with how Scarlet and Violet performed in terms of like performance issues. Like financially, sold like crazy.
Yeah, it sold quite well.
It's hard to learn a lesson from something like that. That's rewarding bad behavior. So I don't know. Like my hope is that for the 30th anniversary, they really kick ass. I think it would be bold and crazy. I almost welcome the chaos if they were to be like, we know it's the 30th anniversary, but the 30th anniversary game not coming out this year because it needs a little bit more time to cook.
I mean, hey, if they just threw all the classic games on the eShop, that would, I think, make a lot of people happy and tide them over until, because it's like, I never played Black and White. I would love to have an excuse to play those, but we'll have to see. But that does transition nicely into the final segment of this show. It's Definitive Ranking, a recurring segment where we take a Nintendo topic and give our own personal top 5 lists. Since this episode was super Pokemon focused and we were both kind of underwhelmed by the Pokemon Presents, Ben, I want to get your top 5 dream Pokemon announcements. So you have done this before. You start at 5, count it down to 1. Give me a quick sentence or two about each.
Okay, so we kind of just mentioned it, but I would love to see the GBA games on Switch. I think it's a little bit harder to do the DS ones, but what do you like the GBA ones? I guess that there's some sort of like logic that if you put them on there, then there's the expectation that you can transfer those Pokemon onto like Pokemon Home and then the main series and blah 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 blah. Make it work. Find a way to make it work. I was going to
say, can I just interject there? If I may say this respectfully, who cares? Like,
also, yeah. Also, who cares?
Let people just play the game that they want to play the way they want to play it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that stuff is important. Game preservation is important. I'd like to see some revisiting of Johto in some capacity, but I think that with us getting Totodile and Chikorita in this game in ZA, that's not going to happen. Maybe ever, which is a bummer.
Like, yeah, I think we also had, what was the other one that was in Legends Arceus?
We had Cyndaquil.
Yeah,
we had Cyndaquil there. Yeah. I would like, I guess, for like TV shows and anime stuff, like some sort of Return of Ash. That'd be cool. Like you just a little bit. Nothing major. Less is more. I feel like the barrier of entry for competitive in VGC and trading card game is very difficult. It's like, and I think part of it is that there's only 3 age groups. I'd like to see a age group that is older than, that is like 20 and older. Like the 15 and older age group, that's insane. Like we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that show up to these events. So I'd like to see some sort of change with that. And then I'd like to see the 30th anniversary game region, which is going to be region number 10th gen for the 30th anniversary. make it meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Do something where you're like really bringing in the past and acknowledging that.
I was gonna say, what if the
in some
30th
capacity.
anniversary game was a return to Kanto? But like
No.
no, you wouldn't want that.
I never want to see Kanto again.
Okay.
I don't want to. Let me say this: if it's a future version of Kanto, sure, but I'm tired of Kanto.
What about a past version, like
no,
like
thank you.
Legends Arceus, but like Kanto style?
Even more boring.
Okay.
So I feel like we've done enough with Kanto. We had Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu in 2018. I don't need any more Kanto.
Okay. I've
said it already too much. Yeah, I get it. And I get the appeal of the original and all of that sort of that thing. But if you're going to do Kanto, then do it with something else that makes like really emphasizes the new. You can't just do here's Kanto again. You got to do like something else that puts like a really big spin on it, or just add another region. I don't know.
Fair enough. You know, like again, this is all like personal opinion. So like if Kanto doesn't resonate with you the way it does with me, then that's perfectly fine.
What's your 5 things?
All right. So number 5 for me, the retro mainline games coming to Switch or Switch 2. I just like there's no reason we shouldn't be able to play most of the Pokemon games the way we can play most of the Zelda games on our Switches.
So Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance.
I would say DS too. Like find a way to make it work.
Find a way to make it work. Okay.
Yeah, like what's stopping us? Like a lot of the touchscreen stuff in those games was just menu stuff that they could easily. Easily. I'm not a game developer, but like it seems like an easier fix than like something like where like, you know, Zombie U, where you're using the second screen of the Wii U constantly. They found a way to make that work on an Xbox.
There were mini games in the DS and 3DS games that did require stylus.
There's
just saying.
Again, let me just reframe this. That the Pokemon Company makes more money than like some countries.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really have a lot of like, oh well, that would be tough. Yeah. Well.
Right.
Number 4 for me is an open world Pokemon game that looks anywhere near as good as Beast of Reincarnation, which is Game Freak's like non-Pokemon game that they're making. But I will settle for one that just runs at 60 frames per second and learns the lessons of Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Number 3, I will say Let's Go Johto. I love Pokemon Gold and Silver. I wish that they would put out an update for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that let you kind of like choose to do wild Pokemon encounters instead of the weird motion control stuff, because that's the only thing holding that back for me from being a very, very, very good remake.
Yeah.
And number 2, I'm gonna just name it this new Pokemon trading card game. I want a successor to the Game Boy Color games.
Okay.
Like an RPG in the style of the Pokemon trading card game, the way we got on Game Boy Color.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want like a free-to-play gotcha machine or anything like that. I just want it to be like, all right, you won, you get this promo booster pack that is going to have like 3 of these 10 cards. Like, yeah, that's by definition today, that's a gotcha game, but like, I don't want it to be like, well, you could drop $10 and get 5 extra packs. Like, no, I don't want that.
Hey, remember Ronald? Remember your rival Ronald? He's a he's back.
Yeah, I don't want any of that. So my final one is, you kind of teased this with one of your things that you said you wanted. And actually 2 of the things you said you wanted. I want a game. Like I recently checked out the Demon Slayer game that Sega is doing, and they're talking about how like, okay, yeah, the first game covered like these arcs in the Demon Slayer anime, and then the second game is going to cover these arcs leading right into the movie that's coming out. Imagine if we took that approach for Pokemon. an anime-inspired game that now that Ash Ketchum's arc is completed, you can take control of him leaving Pallet Town all the way up to him winning the championship, becoming a Pokemon master, and sailing off into the sunset. There's different arcs within there. You meet up. I mean, again, we're talking dream announcements. This would be a dream announcement for me. You follow Ash's entire journey, similar to like the Dragon Ball Z games, where it's like, all right, this is like Goku's arc that you're playing
Naruto, Rise of the Ninja, those, So a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but Pokemon with Ash.
Yes.
So Pokemon Ash, essentially.
Yeah.
So there are fan-made ROMs that have that, and I remember there being, I want to say like maybe like 10, 15 years ago, like it would go up all the way and include the Orange Islands. And then it just like, they didn't update it after that. But yeah, no, if we're talking like major wish fulfillment, that's my Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is 100% what I would want in that dream announcement. So that is my my top 5, but like I would take any of those and be extremely happy. If we got any of those, that would instantly boost this by multiple letter grades. The Pokemon Presents, even if it was just we're bringing classic games to the Nintendo Switch online library, or like you can just drop $50 and get all the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. That would be fine too. Either way, like those are my picks. But Ben, that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much, everyone, for listening. As you know, my Patreon and the associated Discord server are the best ways to get any questions or comments in. You can also get in touch with me at brian@allthingsnintendo.com, or hit me up on Blue Sky or Instagram at Brian P. Shea. By the way, I kind of soft launched an All Things Nintendo Instagram account that you can now find on Instagram. And I also have been posting more on TikTok. So go check those out. Ben, where can people find you online?
You can find me on X or Twitter or whatever it's called for now, at Dr. Ben MD. You can also find me on Instagram, Ben Richlin MD. It's kind of just where I'm at. I'm working on some projects, working on some music with Johnny Gioeli from Crush 40. And
That is our show for this week. Thank you again for listening. Take care. We will see you next time. Before we wrap up this episode of All Things Nintendo, I just want to give a special shout out to the $10 patrons of the podcast. Alex Stadnick, Andy Junkins, Ben Richlin, Chaps My Ass, Derek Sigmund, Dusty Beeman, Ian T. Clark, Jason Thompson, Jawar Hello, Johnny Five, Jose Villalobos, Joshua DeProy, KC Radio Man, Cody Gibson, Creeper 207, Pat Roberts, Paul at Drunk on Mako, Pratable, Rob McCann, Bobby Mac 265, Robert Sosa, Roberto Nieves, Roger Reichart, Russell Sayer, Smithy Poo, Zachary Pliggy, and Zek 3 Sword Sama. Thank you so much for your continued support of this show.